So now what are we going to do about all that? We got to sit, we got to see, we got to see. And the number one thing that we can do for others is to be the example of that person who lives with this mystery and this awe and this beauty of knowing that all of their sins are forgiven and that they're enveloped in this shelter of God himself. And no matter what happens from the difficulties of life, that all of this comes together because we are set secure, our rock, where there's nothing that can move us. When I was young, I had a mentor, much younger. I had a mentor for a while who I really respected and loved deeply. I didn't get to see him very often, but he had a great input in my life. And when I left that particular position, he sent me a letter that I cherish. It's somewhere up on the cabinet. That was back in the day when, you typed it out and he had somebody type it out for him. I'm sure he dictated it. All right, he was way up there in the Christian realm. But one of the things that happened to this man was that he and his wife had 6 children in their life. 3 of them died. All untimely deaths. One, I think, was leukemia when they was a preschooler. Another one, something like an 18-year-old. I've long since forgotten. But what amazed me about this man was that nothing changed about his faith, that he was still resting in the Lord throughout his life. And he did so in such a way that I cherished the thought of becoming like that. Others around him had been through some experiences like that, and they had developed a bitter edge on their life. He wrote a book about it, and it made a great deal of difference in so many people for a generation. It was a constant, not a bestseller, but a constant book. I think it's even been rebranded and put out there again, where he talked about this experience of grief as a man who trusted in the Lord, who had this mystery of the understanding the pain that comes through the loss of a child, and had 3 different seasons in his life. And he'd learned so many lessons from that. He knew what it was. And I would submit to you that you need to know what it is to sit, to see, and to seek, just like David did. And that will give you a foundation and a sureness and a direction for your life that will be attractive of others around you. It will be socially attractive to others. They'll want to be with you. If you're just a complainer about what's gone wrong and what the government did wrong and why everybody should do this differently and that differently, you're sucking on lemons your whole life, you'll always ruin the beauty of what is built into walking with the Lord. It doesn't mean that you won't see all of the other things that are wrong and that you won't do what you can to help in social circumstances to help other people. But it does mean that you will, with eyes wide open, make a magnificent difference in the world. And the very first thing that has to happen is you've got to be the person that God has designed for you to be. Somebody who has a little thing on the side where you attend. Or you go here, or you got a piece of that. Or, you get embittered by some circumstance. Get over it. Move on. Step up. Stand where God wants you to stand, taking a great view of life. And when you have that characteristic yourself, then you will want to share it to others. I believe that the easiest way to share it is just to give people the opportunity to invite them to come be with the other people, with this group of people, where there's an experience of love for one another. And if you don't experience loving one another within the context of your church gathering, then fix that. Be the person who spreads more love, shows more interest, digs down deeper to understand people, accepts the people who may be a little edgy, maybe a little different than others, but that reaches out with compassion and affection and works as you can, bit by bit, one phrase at a time, to build other people up. Sometimes it's just one sentence that turns somebody's life around, and you can be that example. So that in this context where it may be that the church is languishing, it is in many places, in most places in North America, it is languishing. People are dropping away and wandering away. Get with those people and demonstrate to them this calmness, this assurance that you have in your life, and make them say, I think I want some of it. When you are that person, others will see it. And then when they are saying in their heart, I think I want some of that, you can give them the opportunity. They don't even know they're invited. You can invite them to participate with you in that wonderful experience we call the people of God.